If you've got kids between the age of 5 and 18 and you teach them just one money principle, it could set them up for life. This is the exact lesson the wealthiest families in the UK teach their children. It's simple, it's powerful, and yet almost no one talks about it. And here's the thing most people miss. You don't need to be rich to teach it. In fact, most parents who don't come from money can make this lesson even more meaningful because it teaches your kids how to build wealth from nothing. Chapter 1, the biggest money mistake parents make. Have you ever been about to head out the door for work and your kid wraps their arms around your leg and says something like, "Daddy, please don't go, stay with me"? That moment hits you right in the chest. But what you say next actually teaches them how to feel about work. Most parents, without even realizing it, teach their kids that work is something horrible, something that takes us away from the people we love. The wealthy teach something completely different. They tell their kids, "I'm off to help people today. I get to make a difference and I'll be home soon." That one line rewires how your child sees work. Instead of thinking, "Work steals mum or dad away from me," they start thinking, "Work helps people and creates value." That's lesson number 1 of the 1%. Work isn't punishment, work is contribution. By the way, if you were serious about investing and early retirement, hit subscribe so we can build wealth together. Chapter 2, the 3-jar method. Now, let's talk about money because this is where the magic begins. If your kids are between 5 and 9 years old, you can start with something incredibly simple called the 3-jar method. It's a teaching tool used by the wealthy all over the world, and it's perfect for young kids. You label 3 jars: spend, save, and give. Every time your child earns or receives money, like £10 from doing chores or £20 from their nana or granddad, you sit down with them for 5 minutes and split it up. A simple breakdown could be 60% spend, 30% save, 10% give. They can spend their spend jar, obviously, money however they like, sweets, a game, whatever. Their save jar money stays untouched, and the give jar is for helping others, maybe a donation, a charity, or even helping a friend at school who they know doesn't have much money. At this age, it's not about the amounts, it's about building habits. They learn that money has purpose. And most importantly, that giving creates abundance. When your child gives, they're telling themselves, "I have enough to share." That's how you wire an abundance mindset, something most adults never develop, unfortunately. This isn't something I was taught growing up. It's a type of mindset I've developed over the last 6 years since getting into much needed personal development and reading hundreds of books on mindset and investing. As always, nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice, and the full disclaimer can be found below in the description. Chapter 3, the big shift at age 10. When your child hits around 9 or 10, it's time to level up. This is where wealthy families take things to another level, and it's where the 1% mindset really forms. You give your child control. When they earn money, they decide how much goes into each jar. The only rule, the give jar stays non-negotiable. Now you might be thinking they'll just spend it all. That's where the secret weapon comes in. You become the bank. Yes, you the parent. You become the bank and your child's savings start earning interest. Let's say your 10-year-old earns £20 this month. They put £10 into the save jar. You pay them 20% interest at the end of the month. That's £2. They put £15 in, they earn £3, making it exciting, making it visual. Show them their money working for them. That one concept, money working for you, is the foundation of investing, wealth and freedom. Just to be transparent, I've tried all of this with my 2 daughters over the years, and they've ignored every single attempt I've made. They're happy I invest every month into a junior ISA for them, but that's about it. They couldn't give a toss about learning about money and investing. They are 17 and 14, and I'm hoping I can get them interested over the next few years. Wish me luck. Chapter 4, teaching compound interest. Now here's the clever part. The longer they keep their money in the save jar, the more it grows. Each month they can see it increasing. At first it's small, a few pounds here and there, but that visual growth does something powerful in a child's brain. They start asking questions like, If I don't buy that toy, how much will I earn next month? That's delayed gratification. And that's one of the most important habits of wealthy people. Every wealthy person you've ever heard of, from Warren Buffett to your local entrepreneur, mastered one thing early. They learned to delay gratification. So you're not just teaching them to save, you're teaching them to think like an investor. As I mentioned before, my kids couldn't give a toss about learning about money, and neither can their mum. Maybe that's my problem. If both parents in your home are interested in investing, maybe you can pass this info on to your kids, hopefully. Chapter 5, the power of giving. Let's go back to the give jar, because this is where real character forms. Most wealthy families make giving a core part of their financial education, not just because it's kind, but because it builds confidence. When your child gives money away, even just £2 or £5, they start to feel powerful. They see that their money can make a difference. You can make this tangible. Let them drop a few coins into the bucket of a homeless person, for example, or help them choose a cause, maybe sponsor a child, buy school meals, or support an animal shelter, or even better, let them help a friend directly. It hits differently. When they see the impact, they begin to understand that money isn't just about stuff. It's about impact. We do a Christmas shop every year and donate to the local food bank. And to be fair, my girls love doing this and the thought of helping people around Christmas. Chapter 6, turning kids into wealth builders. Over time, your child's save jar becomes their first investment account. By the time they're in their teens, you can transition from physical jars to digital ones, like a Junior ISA or a GoHenry account, which even lets you pay interest manually. You can show them that investing in funds, companies, or even small side projects is just an extension of what they've already learned. Money can grow without you working harder. That's the mindset of the wealthy, and it all starts in childhood. Chapter 7, tell your kids about what not to do. Tell your kids about me as an 18-year-old. This is a personal story of why investing into assets is hugely important. I invested £500 a month into a stocks and shares ISA at 18 for 6 months, but stopped and spent all of my money on a lad's holiday to Ibiza. Huge mistake. This was down to a lack of financial education. Let's say I was taught about things like inflation, compound interest at school. I know I would have invested from 18 to now. So that's a full 24 years. If I got average returns of 10%, that would mean I would be sat on £594,000. And looking at that huge amount, 450,000 is made up of interest earned. This is the power of consistent investing, the power of compound interest. Summary. Most adults in the UK were never taught this. We were told, save what's left after you spend. The wealthy teach, spend what's left after you save. It's a small difference in words, but it completely changes your future. So if you want to raise financially confident, literate kids, start with 3 jars, a few pounds, and the simple idea that money should work for you. Because once they understand that, they'll never see money the same way again. But what after all that? You're not even sure how to invest yourself, never mind teaching your kids. Well, if you see below, I'll leave the link for my latest playlist below. Basically, 5-10 minute videos that help you step by step to invest in the stock market with confidence so you can build wealth and potentially retire early. And if you want my top 5 investing books after reading hundreds of books over the last 6 years, type book below.